Hey guys, Jeff here, and before we get to today's episode, I wanted to let you know about our Season 4 sponsor, Adventure is Out There Travel. If you're listening to this podcast, there's a pretty good chance that you're in the middle of planning your next Disney vacation right now. So why not make it easier for yourself? By working with an Adventure is Out There travel agent, you'll be having an experienced vacation planner doing the heavy lifting for you. Adventure is Out There Travel specializes in making sure your entire group gets to experience the type of activities they want in order to make your trip even more magical. Whether heading to a Walt Disney World vacation in Orlando, flying west to Disneyland, or floating on the high seas in a Disney cruise, Adventure is Out There Travel can help you plan the vacation of a lifetime. Visit adventureisoutthere.travel.com for your free, no-obligation quote today. Now on with the show.
Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePaoli.
And I'm Aaron Fairbanks.
And Aaron Fairbanks.
What's up, Jeff?
Would you like to have a dialogue?
Only if it's about Disney.
Alrighty then.
Get ready to dig deep in today's Disney dialogue.
So Aaron, today we're talking about something kind of interesting. It's kind of like minutia nerdy stuff, but I guess that's what we do a lot. Yeah. But because of MaxPass recently coming to the Disneyland Resort, right. I kind of thought I want to take a look back at all of like the ticketing and FastPass and MagicBand and all that stuff that lives in that world that has existed since day one of the Disney parks.
Yeah.
So let's just start at the beginning. Disneyland, and for our young viewers, most people probably know this, but for our young viewers and listeners, you may not know that Disneyland was not like it is currently, where you could pay for the day, get into the park, and do as much as you wanted. It was not like that at all. You actually had to buy tickets for individual attractions, except for opening day, which was July 17th, 1955. Now, it's interesting because we all celebrate that as Disneyland's birthday, but the fact is it wasn't actually open to the public until July 18th, 1955. That July 17th was an invite only for a lot of celebrities and press and such. The problem was a lot of tickets were counterfeited that day, and it hit way beyond max capacity. That's why the horror stories exist of running out of food and running out of everything and no space. But yeah, on that next day, you had to pay for admission into the park, and then you had to buy tickets. At that point, it was A, B, and C tickets, and basically A was the least exciting of the attractions. It went up to C, which was the more exciting attractions, and I don't know. What do you think of this system? I mean, this is the way everybody did it at that time.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was surprised to see that even attractions like the cars on Main Street were ticketed.
Yeah.
The cinema on Main Street was ticketed. Literally everything that you would want to do, even that you wouldn't consider a ride.
Yeah.
Basically was a coupon. You had to have the coupon for that specific thing. And it's interesting to see how they divided things up, especially in the first year because they had such a limited offering.
One of the things that's listed as an attraction, this always makes me laugh. I don't think that this couldn't have been ticketed because there's no way to have actually made people use their ticket for this, but they always list the Clock of the Future. I think that's what it was called.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like the centerpiece of Tomorrowland. Yeah. They list that as an attraction, and I always find that so funny. I'm like, that's not an attraction exactly. Yeah. But I always found that to be funny. But yeah, these opening day tickets were simply a single sheet of tickets that you would tear off, and it'd include tickets for admission and various attractions, and then more attraction tickets were available at kiosks throughout the park. So if you used up all the ones in that initial entry, you could buy individual ones.
You could buy individual ones, or like any combination of the tickets that you wanted. Yeah. But then they had the discounted books.
Yes.
They wanted you to buy the book, so you got 10 attractions to a book, basically.
Yeah. Now, that adult entry in 1955 was that whopping price of...
Was it 99 cents?
It was $1. $1 to get into Disneyland. If you were age 3 to 11, it was 50
I
cents.
hear they're going to bring that back.
Oh, really? One day only?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of amazing. Now, the thing that I kind of like about this is there are people who go to the Disney parks who literally just hang out, like especially if you're in a large family, with grandparents or whatever who aren't going to do any rides. Imagine if you could go to Disneyland and just pay the fee to get into the gate. You'd save so much money if you weren't paying for rides. Now, obviously, the system we have today is better than this, but I'm just thinking, like, if you're not going to ride anything, you're still paying $100 to get in the gate. Like, that's crazy. What?
I'm going to bring this up later.
Oh, okay.
Because I think this is I think it's weird that you like that system.
I'm not saying it's a better system.
I know
Here's
that.
the thing. I live in the Disneyland. The Disneyland for me, I am lucky enough to live close enough and go often enough that I have a very country club mentality of Disneyland. I will go down and have dinner, maybe watch a show, maybe just walk around. It's not abnormal not to ride anything.
Right.
So I'm just saying, if that option were available, that'd be great. It would also cause major problems as far as the influx of guests and stuff. It would be a huge problem.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, imagine how much money you could save if you were, because I can remember I have 4 siblings, 2 parents, like there's 7 of us. And my mom would often like sit on a bench with one of the the youngest kids while a bunch of us went out to ride. And I'm like, just imagine if she didn't have to pay that same price we did.
Right.
Type of thing.
But it's pay to play.
It is pay to play.
It's pay to play. And I think one thing that I'll mention about that is it helps mitigate the amount of people going on any one attraction.
Absolutely, because you're not going to necessarily, obviously, if you really love it, you might spend the money, but you're not going to hop off a ride and get right back in it. Like that stops that. Like I said, this is not a better system.
No.
I just think it has some pros that we don't necessarily think about.
But the other thing is I would imagine you're going to save those e-tickets. Well, we haven't gotten to e-tickets, but you're going to save those better premium attraction tickets for when you could literally hold that and wait until the line gets shorter.
Yeah.
Or like till you notice like, oh, well, the wait time's going to be down, and then you go on the ride. So it's kind of like the early day FastPass.
I think it forces you to. I mean, how's that any different than just looking at the line and going in when the line's shorter, though? It's the same as today. I don't understand.
What do you mean?
What's your point?
Because not everybody's going to have A, B, and C tickets. Some people are only going to get the A's.
Well, if they're buying the book, they're going to get everything. But yeah, in general, it would lessen the crowds.
Yeah.
Yes. It would stop repeatability and stuff. I don't know. It just has some pros that I don't think people necessarily think about. Now, before I mentioned the adult entry was $1, that was just to get into the park. And then they had these A Day at Disneyland ticket books, which was entry and 8 attractions with the A, B, and C tickets. Those were $2.50. Ooh, big spending. That's less expensive than a churro today. And then the junior tickets, which were for junior and senior high students, that was $2, and children 12 and under were $1.50 with the ticket books. So that's basically what it was when the park opened. And in 1956, we got the D ticket. The D ticket, which was introduced for Rainbow Caverns Mine Train, which is long gone, taken over by the space that is now Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Yeah.
But the addition of a new ticket, that must have been like big news back in the day, I would assume, right?
Yeah, it was like 15 cents more than the previous tickets. So.
Yeah. And then in 57, we had the adult deluxe 15 tickets. A book with 15 tickets. That's big doings. $3.95, a child $3. And then this I like, although once again could not work today, the date night ticket book, which was after 5 on Fridays and Saturdays. You could enter for a different fee as well.
This is off. This isn't about tickets, but I totally think they should bring back the date night at Disneyland concept.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I totally people want to bring their kids to the parks, but like a night.
Oh, you're saying kids aren't allowed?
Yeah, like a night
okay.
where it's like extended hours, like 7 to like a special event, like
Sure.
one the holidays or something, and it's like 2 days every week for the month of June and July, and like a 16 and over, like that's the limit. Just saying, I think that would be an interesting idea.
The problem with that is that, unfortunately, date nights, I don't think spend as much money on souvenirs as children. So,
Well, children don't spend any money.
yeah,
on
but parents do.
souvenirs.
So there's that thing that, of course, Disney wouldn't like too much. And also, I'm assuming this is back in the day when Disneyland closed a lot earlier.
Right. Yeah.
So-
So it was open till midnight specifically for these date nights.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
these days, like, it's very often open, especially on the weekends. I think it's always open till 11 or 12. So, they'd have to take away what is normal. So don't do it, in fact, because... No, don't.
Do it.
I would not like that. And then in 57, 58, the Magic Kingdom Club was introduced, which is... I'd never heard of this, had you?
Vaguely.
This was kind of like a marketing tool because it offered discounts for employees of large companies. So it was basically they wanted the companies to advertise to their employees, hey, go to Disneyland. They got some discounts, but it was eliminated in 2000, so it lasted a lot longer than I ever expected. It was replaced by Disney Club, and that only lasted a few more years. But then the big year was 1959 with the e-ticket.
Wow.
Which, of course, we still use the term today, which I think is really fun and interesting. And I am curious how many younger folks out there even know, like, I think they know when you hear e-ticket attraction, it means big deal.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they know that, like, there's actually a ticket at one point. I don't know. We should take a survey on that.
Yeah.
Now, this was 75 cents per ticket. Think about that. It used to be $1 just to get in the gate, and now you're charging 75 cents just for one ride. This was introduced with the new rides in 59, which were the Submarine Voyage, the Matterhorn bobsleds, and the monorail.
I do not consider the monorail an e-ticket attraction.
Back in the day, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, and it didn't even leave the park at that point. It was just going around Tomorrowland.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh.
When it first started, it was just around Tomorrowland. Then years later, it connected to the Disneyland Hotel. It was a deal that they made with the folks who owned the Disneyland Hotel, because Disney did not. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, so it was just a ride through Tomorrowland, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah. E-ticket. Now I'm going to jump ahead a bunch of years, but 1968, I find this interesting. Nothing new was introduced in the park because Walt died 2 years prior. So nothing new in 68. That's crazy. Can you imagine a year of nothing new at Disneyland? Bloggers would go insane. There'd be nothing to report.
Yeah.
Now, the way that we know it today wasn't introduced until the 80s. Like, that's crazy to me.
What, just entering the park?
Just entering the park. The passport is what they call it. That started in 1984 with the introduction of annual passports. Now, I read this. I don't know how true this is. I find this hard to believe. But apparently the reason for this was because Six Flags nearby had this system where you just pay a fee and you get in the park and get to ride whatever you want. I find it really hard to believe that Disney was influenced by Six Flags, but who knows? Maybe back in the early 80s, Six Flags Magic Mountain did have some influence on the Disney parks. I thought that was interesting. And do you know when the annual passes were introduced?
No.
85.
Whoa.
1985.
How much?
Take a guess for an adult annual pass in 1985.
$50.
$99.
Okay.
$99.
Wow.
Child annual pass, $69.
Wow.
Just a little comparison. Today, the top level annual pass you can get for the Disneyland Resort is the Signature Plus annual pass. $1,049.
$1,049?
Yeah. For the Signature Plus.
For 2 weeks at Christmas? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And they get the MaxPass, which we'll talk about later. And then for today, a peak park hopper pass is $174. Peak time, no park hopper, $124. So obviously things have changed through the years at the Disneyland Resort. But that's basically the ticket system up to the passport system, and then the annual pass system, and then something happened in 1999.
What happened in 1999?
FastPass was introduced over at Walt Disney World.
What?
Do you remember the introduction of FastPass?
vaguely.
I do remember it pretty well. And I remember there being a lot of confusion because people like kind of didn't realize, and I kind of feel like this is still today even sometimes, people don't realize it's free with your park admission. Like they think they'll get halfway through their day and be like, why are all those people get to cut the lines? Those jerks, like, and like, you can do it too, folks. Like just.
I didn't realize that FastPass was really kind of introduced with Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So that was the first Fast Passes were Kilimanjaro Safaris, Countdown to Extinction.
Now known as Dinosaur.
And,
I like the old name personally.
What was it? Was it Kali River
Kali
Rapids?
River Rapids,
I think that's what it was. Yeah. So so it kind of you're gonna totally nail me for this. Did Animal Kingdom open in 99?
98.
98.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was very much a part of that park opening, and I'm sure they had it in the works before then.
Yeah, I was surprised though when I read that. I was like, wow, I didn't realize Animal Kingdom is where the Fast Pass was born. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Now, the way that the system worked was you got your Fast Pass with your ticket. It's spit out a time to return, and then you could you had to wait either 2 hours or until the time that you could use your ticket, whichever came first, in order to get another ticket.
Yeah.
I've always liked the Fast Pass system. I always thought it was like a super fair system. And I don't know. I think it worked. So I know some people never got on board with it. They're like, this screws up standby queues. And I don't know. Maybe it's all mental. I don't know how the math works out, honestly, if you use FastPass or not. Maybe you end up spending the same amount of time waiting for stuff. But it always feels good to me in the long run.
Yeah. Speaking of fair, though, I did not realize how like easily you could like screw with the system,
Cheat the system very
like any
easily.
magnetic card. Like you could literally put in probably like a I don't know,
Credit card.
a credit card.
People put in credit cards.
or like even tickets that weren't for that day, or like expired tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
So and then the other thing that I didn't realize is that up until like 2004, was it? Or no, it was like even later than that. It was like 2012.
Are you talking about cheating the time?
That you could just like, they just accepted your ticket.
I don't think this is true in Walt Disney World. I know in Disneyland this was true because I used to do it all the time. So basically, if you're not familiar with FastPass, you had an hour window of time. So it would say come back between 12 and 1 p.m., for example. But the reality was, at least at Disneyland, that as long as you came anytime after 12 p.m., they would be fine with it. This truly screwed up the system, because what would happen, including me doing this, you would collect them all day, and then at the end of the day you'd have like 6 fast passes and you could just bang 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 through these attractions. It was fantastic as a guest.
Shame
it
on
was
you.
Terrible if you were in a standby line, because it would just clog up. It basically defeated the purpose of scheduling people.
Right.
So I can't believe they got away with this for so long. But as you said, in March 2012, they started enforcing the time. And I remember being really bummed when Disneyland started doing that. I was like, no, it's just so nice and convenient to, like, at the end of the night when you're exhausted, just know that you can walk on all your favorite attractions. It's great. But yeah, it was.
Don't do it, kids.
Well, you can't anymore. The other thing was, they used to have some attractions that would like be on a different computer system.
Oh, I do remember that.
So like Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin.
Well, Disneyland and California Adventure were both
Those are two
on
different
separate
parks,
systems.
which I honestly think it should be. I get it now with the MaxPass, you kind of can't do that.
Yeah.
But they are different parks. I feel like different park, different system is cool. But like having one ride at Disneyland that was on a completely different system is a little weird.
Yeah.
But if you knew about it, it was fantastic, because you'd go get a Space Mountain, then you'd go get a Roger Rabbit, and you'd have a fun day.
you'd have to like Roger Rabbit a lot. I like Roger Rabbit. I'm just saying.
Well, that's the thing. I never liked it enough to wait in a standby line. So I would always get, like, I enjoy it, but I would always get a fast pass because I'm like, I'm not going to wait a half hour for this. Fast pass, nice. But I mean, fast pass really revolutionized the theme park industry. That was a huge, huge deal back in, what did I say, 99, right?
99.
That's crazy. And these days we have what is known as FastPass Plus.
FastPass Plus.
Which is only at Walt Disney World.
Yes.
You've experienced the FastPass Plus
Oh, yeah.
system? I actually just booked my FastPass Plus choices for my trip in a month. It's still not an easy system. It's easier. It's so interesting to me because I feel like there's no way to make that website any easier, but it's not easy.
I don't have an issue setting up my fast passes, and I also don't mind scheduling out my, or just kind of like roughing out my days, because I know it's not something that I have to stick to. I know some people are like, I don't know what I want to be doing that day. I'm like, well,
then you don't have to plan it.
Yeah.
I mean, so with FastPass Plus, first of all, it's part of My Magic Plus. So this is where it gets a little confusing because it's part of My Magic Plus, which is a planning program at Walt Disney World utilizing My Disney Experience app and MagicBands, which includes FastPass Plus. To me, that's just a lot of like different names of things, and it can get if you're not familiar, it's like, okay, wait, what's the difference between My Disney Experience and My Magic Plus? And I don't know why the app isn't called My Magic Plus, like the same as the program.
Because it encompasses your resort, it encompasses your dining plan, your reservations.
Yeah,
it's like,
which is all part of My Magic Plus.
No, your reservation or your plan, your dining plan is a different thing.
I feel like it could be a simpler umbrella breakdown, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's My Disney Experience.
Then just call it that. What do we need My Magic Plus for?
I don't know. I mean, Disney likes branding things.
Yeah, I find it very confusing personally. But yeah, with the Magic or with the FastPass Plus, you can book that. What is it? If you're staying on property, 60 days in advance. If you're off property, as long as you have park tickets and a Magic, you don't even need a MagicBand. If you have park tickets, it's 30 days in advance. And at the beginning, it used to be a lot different. So at the beginning of FastPass Plus, it was a weird system kind of where you chose the attractions you wanted, but they kind of picked times for you.
Oh.
Do you remember this?
Yes. Yeah.
And that I never liked. I was like this. I felt that the normal FastPass, which was definitely better than that, where you could kind of pick and choose on your own. They have definitely, I will say, they've worked through a lot of these problems and kinks with the FastPass Plus system. Now you can pick individual attractions. Now you can pick individual times.
They'll still kind of do like a suggested.
Well, you can choose morning, afternoon, evening, which I think you could always do. But I don't know. They used to really lump it together for you, and it was weird. I remember not liking that system. It is where you book 3 for a day in advance for one park.
That's where I have an issue with it.
You want a park hop?
Well, I feel like a lot of people are going to do a park hopper. Like they want to be able to do a second park in the day, and it doesn't seem.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you can once you use the 3, right?
Right, but you can only your 60 or your advanced booking is only one park per day, and that's where I get a little bit on board with the people who are like, I don't want to plan out that far in advance, because it's like, well, maybe like one park will be busier than the other park, and I don't want to go spend the day at Magic Kingdom.
Oh, you don't even know what day you're going to be at what park? See, I'm definitely planning that.
No. I mean, I plan it with the FastPass Plus. I mean, as a general outline, but like maybe the day will come and like the people I'm with are like, oh, maybe I'll meet up. I've actually had this happen where like I was going to meet up with a friend, and they were like, oh, like it's easier for me to get to Epcot, and so like I had to bounce on my reservations. So that's the only thing I don't like, is it's like it'd be a little bit easier if you could like 2 at Magic Kingdom and 1 at Hollywood Studios.
It doesn't bother me that much personally. I know where I'm gonna. So for me, a lot of the choice of where I'm going to be spending the day usually depends on nighttime show schedule. So, like, I'm going, and Happily Ever After is only playing, like, one night when I'm there. So I'm like, okay, that's going to be Magic Kingdom that night. So, like, I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
Also,
I'm a planner.
Extra magic hours.
Extra magic hours can really screw things up. Yes. But, yeah. So it's a system that I think ultimately I like it better than the traditional FastPass system.
Well, and you can, like you said, you can still book once you've gotten through your first 3, you can book additional fast passes at a kiosk.
At a kiosk or on your smartphone with the app. Now, the MagicBand is the the way that you use your FastPass or the ticket, which it's kind of, I think that's great. I mean, listen, I've got so many Magic Bands now because they just keep sending them whenever I go to the resort, but that's only if you're staying on property. I'm surprised they still send free Magic Bands.
You know, you can ask them to link it to a previous Magic Band.
Oh, I know,
right?
but why would you not want a free Magic Band? You want every color. Of course you want every color, right? Plus, I got to get the one with the pucks that pop out now.
Yes.
So I've got like different Magic Bands coming out.
I'd prefer that, yeah.
Yeah, but the cool thing is that you don't need to get one. I am very surprised it hasn't gotten to a point of them being like, not staying on property? Cool, buy one if you want to take advantage of the system. Like, I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
There's not really, I feel like if you're not staying on property, Magic Band really isn't.
For me, the priority with Magic Band is FastPass. I know now Magic Band does a lot more than just FastPass. It's your room key. It can be your credit card if you want.
Yeah.
For me, it's like a FastPass device, personally.
Oh, that's...
What do you use it for?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I mean is like, if I wasn't using it for everything, I wouldn't use a Magic Band. No, it's uncomfortable.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You have an Apple Watch on.
Yeah, but that's comfortable.
You think this is
It's built for
uncomfortable?
comfort. That's built for mass production.
This does not bother me in the least.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
Especially in Florida, humidity definitely gets sweaty.
Well, now you can get the little
The keychain?
the keychain.
I want the keychain.
And isn't there another thing as well?
They have.
Is there a necklace?
I don't think so. That would be really uncomfortable to like
Keychain.
bend over every time.
Lanyard? I don't know.
But yeah, they have the keychains with they have a Mickey head keychain and a Minnie head keychain.
And the pucks pop out.
And the pucks pop out.
Yeah, so that's FastPass Plus for you. And
Yeah.
that brings us to...
One of the cool things too about the My Disney experience and the FastPass Plus is it opens up all the like magic. What do they call that when you're like on an attraction and it like
Oh, yes.
it's not extra magic, but
Is there a name for that? Yeah,
there is, but I can't remember exactly what it's called. But it's like when you go on Haunted Mansion and they can like know what state you're from, or
They have now. They were using that technology for a while. I feel like they've definitely used it less and less and less. Like from what I understand, the Expedition Everest posters don't really work anymore. The Rock and Roller Coaster posters, I don't think work anymore.
Oh, I didn't even know that was one of the things.
Small World, I think, got rid of it real quickly. So it was kind of one of those things that I don't know if people. It works if it's like done well, but a lot of times to me it felt like it was like, oh, let me show you what we can do with this technology. I'm like, great, you got my name up on a screen.
I really liked Haunted Mansion.
Where it's like a tombstone with your state or your name.
No, they
or
would
something?
do different things. They would do like a tombstone with your name. They would do like a newspaper with your home state.
Okay.
And then they would, this doesn't really have to do with the Magic Band, but they like pull your head off and
Yeah, I love the
toss
pull
it
your head
around.
off stuff. I do think of all of them, Haunted Mansion probably worked it the best. Small World, I thought was really stupid.
Your name?
Your name on a screen. I'm
Yeah.
like, really? Like, I don't know. It felt forced, I think is the best way to put it. I do hope that, there's a lot of talk about the characters knowing your names and stuff, which is creepy. But I think that's a better way to go with it. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just a little weird if Mickey's like knows your name.
And the best part about it is PhotoPass. Because it
Yes.
automatically saves your PhotoPass.
Yeah, and for My Disney experience,
Yeah.
but you got to pay for them there.
Yes. That's true.
Whereas what we're getting into next, are we ready to move on to it?
Yeah.
The MaxPass.
MaxPass!
At the Disneyland Resort, fairly new, opened just on July 19th of this year.
That's right.
By the way, FastPass Plus started in 2014. I don't know if I mentioned that. July 19th of this year. This is only at Disneyland. This is the only system that charges you money to use it.
That's right.
I have not used it, and I have no desire to at this point. I've heard fantastic things about it.
Yeah.
You're a big fan.
Yeah, this is where I wanted to bring up the fact that you liked the fact that you have to pay for individual tickets for rides or just an entrance fee but you don't like the fact that you can add on this bonus of like getting to book whatever rides you want.
Yeah, those are two totally different things.
Yeah, but it's still like you're paying a premium.
No, you're paying to experience an attraction versus paying to cut a line.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to...
That's two different things.
Not necessarily, because you're going to be able to ride more attractions with the MaxPass than if you just went on a regular day.
Yeah, no, I don't see the equivalent. Plus, that's not how the park works now. You go in the park, you can ride everything now. It's two different things.
If you go on a park on a crowded day, you're going to ride like 4 rides.
I love the concept of the MaxPass. It should be free.
No.
Yeah, it should, because Shanghai has it for free.
Yeah, because Shanghai is massive.
It does. We got 2 parks. It's fine.
We have 2. Yeah.
Listen. No. Here's the thing. If FastPass has worked for all of these years, so can MaxPass. Don't give me the
What
crap.
do you mean? FastPass still does work.
Yeah, but that's my point don't give me it's a numbers game. It's not like they have to charge for it because too many people would use it and then it would become too crowded. No, it would be the same exact system as FastPass. With FastPass, when they ran out for the day. That's it. So if MaxPass was available to everybody, when they run out of time slots for the day, they run out.
They would run out immediately.
No, they wouldn't. It's timed. You can only get so many at a time. It's the same thing. The convenience is, the best part of it is the free photos, if you don't have that already. And the convenience is you don't have to walk from one thing to another. As far as like timing when you select things, you still have to do that. It's the same system. It's just way more convenient. And it should not be charged for. There we go. Aaron disagrees.
Yeah.
I will not. Listen, I'm going to pay for it for a day when my sister's in town. I'm going to do it. I'm sure I'm going to love it. I have no desire to add it on to my annual pass. I just don't. I'm completely against it.
It's not even that much of a premium to
No,
add
it's
it
not.
on your pass.
It comes down to the moral of it, in my opinion. I think it's crap that they charge for it. I think it's complete crap.
No.
It's dividing. It's creating a divide between the audience. I hate it. I just think it's a crappy way to treat guests. Disneyland is doing stuff more and more that makes me feel less like a guest and more like a customer. And I get it. We've always been customers. That's how it works. It's a business, but they used to do a much better job at hiding that fact. And now, not so much, in my opinion. But I don't know. You love the MaxPass. So what are the things that you love about it?
I mean, I like the fact that you can get on a ride. Most of the time, you can immediately get on a ride, or it's like a 5 to 10 minute wait. Mm-hmm. Then once you have scanned the MaxPass,
you get in the same line as FastPass, right?
Yeah. You can immediately book your next FastPass. Mm-hmm. So there's no juggling like, oh, like you go take our tickets and go get fast passes for Space Mountain and then meet us back over here in like 30 minutes and then we'll get on Haunted Mansion. It's like, yeah, we'll get on Haunted Mansion and then, Space Mountain. And we'll walk over there after this.
Absolutely. It is the 21st century way that fast passes should be. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
You just don't think that you should have to pay for it.
No. And not just me, anybody. I don't think here's the thing. It's free at Walt Disney World. It's free at Shanghai.
It's different circumstances. I think it's totally different circumstances.
I don't think is it different? Yes. Is it totally different? I don't think so.
Okay.
And I think it's completely manageable. The thing that I think is great, I would tell anybody who's a tourist, do this. Absolutely do this because it will make your trip much happier. As I mentioned before, I'm more of a country clubber at Disneyland, so I don't need it. Do it for the ease, but also the photo pass is great, especially when you look at like what they charge at Walt Disney World for. Do they call it Memory Maker? Or is that
what is it, like $70 a day or something like that?
For some reason, I remember at one point seeing like $199, and it might have included like your whole vacation.
That might be the whole package. Yeah.
Yeah. It's PhotoPass is and was expensive at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
It should be free. At this day and age, like photo downloads really are just marketing for the company because they know everybody's going to post it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hashtag the parks. Like, it's good marketing. So in my opinion, it should just be free. That's a huge benefit of the MaxPass. I've already got it on my annual pass, so it doesn't really affect me. That's like not an incentive for me.
Yeah, they'll probably knock that off your pass next year.
From what I'm hearing, as long as you renew, it won't get knocked off.
For now.
That's what they say.
For now.
And frankly, if it did go away, I wouldn't really care that much.
Right. Do you ever use
Very
photo
rarely.
pass?
Mostly for like on-ride photos more than like character photos.
Right.
But because here's the thing. If all you're concerned about is character photos, they'll still take your cell phone and take a photo for free.
Well, that's one thing at Disneyland that they're good about. Walt Disney World, they like...
Really?
Yeah.
I've never noticed
The last
that.
time I went to Walt Disney World, they were like, yeah, I guess they'll take your...
Really?
Yeah.
I've never ever noticed that. No, I've always had no problem with that. And I get it. They're there for a job. They're trying to like sell you photographs that they're going to print out. So I have no problem with them taking photos with their camera as well. But I've never had anybody give me a problem. I'm going to pay attention to that next time I'm in Florida because now I'm curious.
Well, because I feel like at Disneyland, they specifically ask like, oh, do you want us to take a picture on your phone?
Yeah, they're used to the locals, and
Yeah.
Florida's going for the tourist money, so I get it. Some of the cool stuff that goes on with MaxPass, if a ride does break down, apparently you can get a FastPass for any other available ride.
When I read this, it said you can do that with any FastPass. Like, they just don't tell you that.
Really? You
Yeah.
can like just go up and be like, hey, my ride broke down, and just...
Well, I think they'll know that ride's broken down, but apparently that's what the article that you sent me was like. It was like,
yeah.
you can take the paper FastPass from a broken down ride and they'll take it anywhere.
One of the things that as I was reading about the MaxPass, they really seemed to have thought this through, as far as like all the different things that could happen and how they'll deal with the issue. Like, for instance, like if we were to go to the park, you have a MaxPass, I don't. If I were to get a paper FastPass at a similar time to you, we could connect them in your system.
Our tickets, you can connect your tickets with, so like I could add your ticket to the app.
Yeah.
And then when you get a paper FastPass, like that'll show up on the app.
Yeah, so they seem to have thought all these different scenarios through, which I think is great. You can cancel a MaxPass if you find another reservation that you want, cancel that easily. Whereas before, with the paper ticket, it was like, oh, I got this, I'm stuck with this type of situation.
Yeah.
If you decide to change your mind. No World of Color or Fantasmic on MaxPass yet, as far as fast passes are concerned.
So when MaxPass was getting, right after it came out, I read an interesting article about rides that they had set up to add FastPass to, and they had like, I guess they've installed or like have the system ready to do Peter Pan's Flight, Small World, Pirates, like some major attractions, and I'm wondering why they haven't, because they added Matterhorn, they added Toy Story Midway Mania.
Yeah. One thing I'll say, we didn't mention this with FastPass Plus in Florida, but when FastPass Plus was added, a lot more attractions were added onto the system than had normal paper ticket FastPasses. So the one difference there is with FastPass Plus, since you're dealing with a MagicBand, they didn't have to put up any more paper ticket kiosks.
Right.
Whereas at Disneyland, they do, since they have the MaxPass and the standard system, which doesn't seem to be going away because, as you mentioned, they added the paper tickets to Matterhorn and Midway.
Right.
So that's the issue. I mean, where would you put a Peter Pan or a Pirates of the Caribbean FastPass distribution? I don't even know. Like, it would be a nightmare, I think. So that's one major plus with FastPass Plus over MaxPass and the traditional system in place. But yeah, I would love to see more attractions get it.
You know what is definitely going to get MaxPass?
What?
Star Wars Galaxy Edge.
It's gonna have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think that's part of why they.
You think they're gonna get rid of FastPass altogether, like the paper
Well, no, I
FastPass?
just think that part of why they're introducing MaxPass is so that they can control, so that once Star Wars Land opens, they can control like you said, like I think it will become like an elite thing where it's like,
Yeah, absolutely.
like only these rides are available on MaxPass, so you have to have MaxPass to.
Which is super crappy of them. Thanks for making me feel like a guest. Of course, we're assuming here maybe they won't do that. It'd be lovely if they didn't, but I would not be surprised if they did.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be both systems in like the down season.
I don't know, because I mean, there's cost, and also like when it comes to Star Wars Land, especially, they're really focusing on aesthetic look of this land. So like, if they're like, look, we don't want to put a box to spit out a ticket anywhere in this land, I have a feeling with Star Wars Land, they're gonna be like, the aesthetic is way more important than that. It's MaxPass only. Like, that would not surprise me.
They'll have astromech droids that spit up fast.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You gotta
go find the droid running around the land.
It would look exactly like Princess Leia putting the data card. You're
yes.
like, you gotta like.
I love that idea. I do think that's the direction it's going, but it does weird me out slightly that Matterhorn and Midway Mania put in the ticket system. Just because that's not cheap. I mean, they're not going to do that just for 2 years of use, I don't think.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I mentioned, Shanghai Disneyland did announce that they are getting a free digital FastPass system this fall. That's one park, not even two, just by the way.
It's massive. It's
one
bigger.
park.
It's bigger than
not even two.
Bigger than both parks.
Is that true?
I don't
think that's true. Maybe it is though. Maybe.
It will be eventually.
Now, but here's something interesting. They do have a paid pass, and it's called the Disney Premier Access, which is basically you get to cut lines on Soaring, Roaring Rapids, Tron, Buzz Lightyear, Planet Rescue, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Winnie the Pooh, and Peter Pan. Talk about a crock. They have that at Shanghai. Interestingly enough, Pirates of the Caribbean not on that list.
Wow.
Yeah, that surprised me. Maybe it was an incomplete list, but I'm pretty sure that's the ones that they mention. So that surprised me a little bit.
One thing that we didn't really talk about is that I'll just mention briefly is the FastPass. When they introduce FastPass to things, you miss the queue experience.
Yes,
on a lot of real and Imagineers put so much effort into a lot of these queues.
Yeah,
that you really kind of it's kind of a bummer to do like Haunted Mansion in Walt Disney World and not do the queue.
I accept it more with like older attractions, like before the system was in place. Like I'm like, I get it. You needed to figure out some way to shorten the line for this experience.
Disneyland, it's not so bad because most of the
our queues aren't
really
that.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is they're not as fleshed out as Walt Disney World.
If it's a new attraction, shame on them if they don't include part of the pre-show queue as your FastPass experience. But yeah, you're right. I remember I did FastPass for Peter Pan's Flight at Walt Disney World, and this was soon after they put in the whole new queue system, and I wanted to see it, and I think I like walked through the queue a bit as part of the FastPass, but I was walking really slow because I was like, I just don't want to miss any of this stuff. But yeah, you're right. You're 1,000% right. Because that's part of the show. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to any of this?
No, not really.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. In 1955, we had ticket books with ABC. Then it went to ABCD. Then it went to ABCDE, and then we went to the Passport. Then we went to annual passes. Then we went to FastPass. Then we went to FastPass Plus, which included my Disney Experience, my Magic Plus, and Magic Bands. Then we went to the MaxPass. And that's where we're at today. What is next for cutting lines at Disney parks and getting charged for it?
Teleportation.
I don't know. Actually, it's interesting because Universal Studios is doing some very interesting tests and stuff with their whole like queueless lines.
Yes, I've heard about this.
They're I almost call them Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. It's they hand you like colored cards or like lettered
something
cards.
Colored, yeah.
And then you like go into this lounge, which I've heard is it's and this is what's interesting is it's like there's a waiting area that's really nice and there's like places to sit down and charging stations and stuff. And then when your color or whatever gets called, like you just get up and like walk
go
right
to the
on.
next room. I think there's 3 rooms, so they're basically making you. I could be wrong. I haven't experienced this yet, but yeah, it's something like that.
What was interesting was that my friend who did this, they just like waited until the next rotation went around. Because they were enjoying being inside this lounge area, and it
was kind of like a museum, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a Tonight Show museum,
Yeah.
and there's like and like I said, there's like charging stations, so it's a nice place to escape the Florida heat, sit down for a little while, and they don't require you to get up. You just hold on to your card, and then whenever that color gets called, whether it's the first time or the third time, you just get up and go.
Are there merchandise booths in there?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like that's the whole thing with trying to create queueless experiences is they want you out of lines and buying stuff. I will experience it hopefully when I go this time around.
I've heard the ride is terrible.
Oh, I have no interest in the ride. Come on, Jimmy Fallon.
You should
in a simulator.
You
No,
should
thank
just
you.
go in, experience the lounge, and then leave.
Yeah, so I think that's an interesting new way of dealing with it, and also there's this whole face recognition stuff that they're doing, which is creepy. But that's something that's being tested as well. So
For what?
Universal, which attraction was it? It may have been Jimmy Fallon. They were testing face recognition.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're certainly not at the end of this. Like, MaxPass is not the end of this road. It will continue to evolve. And, of course, the water park, the Volcano Bay, has the Tapu Tapu bracelets, which is a whole other thing.
Is it like FastPass?
So it's basically you go, I think, to the attraction.
It holds your place in line.
It holds your
right?
place in line, yeah.
Yeah.
So you get, but the difference is like your wrist vibrates and you can check to see when your return time. There's like a digital screen on it. I know they had problems with it initially when the park opened. Hopefully they figured that out. But I don't know. It's exciting to see them trying all these different things, and some of them stick, some of them don't. MaxPass definitely seems like it's here to stay. FastPass has had quite a nice run.
Yeah.
The system in Florida with FastPass Plus definitely seems like they've worked out the problems, and it seems to be a pretty smooth system at this point. I think that the one benefit, like you said, that they could do is make it multi-park. I just feel like it would screw up the algorithms. Like, it would be like, this is too confusing as it is. This would really get crazy.
Yeah.
And I also think many people would miss their reservations. And number one, you'd have to deal with complaining people being like, well, I missed my reservation because of your monorail. So there'd be that. And number two, I just think people would be like, you know what, I'm having fun at the Magic Kingdom. I don't want to go to Epcot right now. And they'd miss it that way. As it is, a lot of people skip out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, whenever you do something like that, it screws up the algorithm. And it's a complex system. So, I don't know. The one park doesn't bother me. It does you. I feel like that's maybe the next step with FastPass Plus. But anywho, it's a lot of talk about tickets and passes and such.
Yeah.
So I think that means it's trivia time. So, Aaron, do you want to hit me with the trivia question first, or shall I hit you?
Please don't hit me.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I'll ask you a question.
But you
then.
go ahead first.
You know some of these because, listen, well, we were talking about Disneyland and the FastPass.
Yes.
And the first official attraction to get the FastPass, I'll do a two-parter here, was what?
At Disneyland?
Yeah,
Was It's a Small World Holiday.
that's right. Do you remember which attraction it was actually tested on first? That was the first official FastPasses open attraction, but which one did they test it with the summer before?
Was it Space Mountain?
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
Space Mountain and It's a Small World Holiday.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I want FastPass back at Small World.
Yeah. It's amazing, like, that with... I guess because they run out, but like, I don't know. It's always interesting when you see like huge lines for stuff. I'm always just like, who would wait for that? Get a fast pass.
The main reason I don't wait for Small World is because the entire queue is in the sun. There is no shade whatsoever.
It usually moves very quickly.
Yeah, it moves pretty quickly, but
Yeah.
I'd rather just...
That's a lot of Disneyland, though. There's a lot of outdoor queues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you win. You got the trivia.
Sweet.
Double whammy. What do you got for me?
All right. So we're both members of D23.
Yeah.
And D23 does a quarterly magazine, right?
Yeah.
So with the Magic Kingdom Club that we mentioned,
Yeah.
they did a quarterly magazine. Can you tell me how much that magazine was?
How much it cost?
How much the subscription to the magazine was?
So for all 4 in 1 year, what it cost?
Yeah.
$5.95.
Nope.
But you got all the You're saying just the magazines or the whole club?
So
To join
the magazine was like an added bonus. It's like
Okay,
it's
okay.
like with D23. It's like you could pay.
Oh, so for the whole, to be a member of the Magic Kingdom Club for a year, you're saying?
No. To get the publication.
To just get the publication?
Yeah, just get the publication. For 3, I'll give you a hint. 3 years. You could sign up for 3 years. For a total of 12 magazines.
I don't know, $20?
$2. I only bring that up because I know that we both pay for the quarterly magazine of D23.
I mean, is that really what you're paying for with D23?
No. But I mean, it's especially the magazine. When I looked into it, when I was looking at the pictures and stuff, it was very reminiscent of that, like, what's going on at the parks? What's going on with the company?
To me, it felt like a Disney Files magazine. Disney Files is the Disney Vacation Club magazine, I believe.
Okay.
I think that's I think that's what it is, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I get it. I think it's because of DVC. But in any case, it reminded me of that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's $2.
Yeah.
You're basically paying for the shipping of it. Like, that's it.
This was in like 1982.
That's
This
crazy.
wasn't even like the early days.
That's nutso.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, D23, can we get our
$2 membership, please? Jeez Louise. And that could have gotten both of us into the park on opening day.
That's true.
Jeez. I do want to mention before we go, sadly, we lost another Imagineer recently. Of course, it wasn't that long ago that Marty Sklar passed away, but just a few days ago, Exitencio passed away at the age of 98. This is another direct connection to Walt Disney. This is a man that brought us the lyrics to Yo Ho, Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me, as well as Grim Grinning Ghosts, and done so much more with an Imagineering and Walt Disney Animation. So, 98 years old. I last saw him, I want to say it was at a D23 Expo, and it was probably like 2 or 3 ago. So that would have been like 4 or 6 years ago. 98, man. But yeah, what a huge legacy he left, and it's crazy. So sad to lose him as well. Man, the Imagineers, man. The old school Imagineers going away.
They did stuff.
They did incredible stuff. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's honestly, like, I was actually thinking about it. I met Exitencio once at Walt's barn. This was probably like 10 years ago.
Wow.
But I got his autograph somewhere. I should find that. But I was just thinking, like, what would Pirates and Haunted Mansion have been without his influence?
Who knows?
Like, it's
a lot less interesting.
Yeah, would there have even been a song? You know, like, it's definitely something to think about. But in any case, I also want to give some shout outs. Shout out time.
Whoa!
Shout out to Monet Pink.
Monet Pink. Monet, you just left a review.
Monet has been a long time listener.
I was going to say.
Yeah, she did.
Thank you. Thank you, Monet.
Thank you, Monet, for leaving us a 5-star written review on iTunes. Also to Skylar Sandoval. Thank you so much.
What's up, Skylar?
Skylar leaving a 5-star written review on iTunes. And M. Linetsky. I think that's how you say it. M. Linetsky. Thank you so much for the review on iTunes. If you want a shout out on the show, it's so easy. What do, Aaron?
You leave a nickel in Jeff's mailbox. No, you leave a 5-star written review on iTunes.
Where did that come from? That is the most random thing ever.
Watch, you're gonna get like tons of nickels. In your
people
mailbox.
show up at my house putting nickels. I'm gonna be disturbed for many, many, many reasons. No, you go to iTunes, you leave a 5-star written review. It doesn't even cost you a nickel. It's free. But that's gonna do it for us this week, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a magical week, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for watching Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.